This is Karen Clymer here with Wholesome Communication. Something I've been wanting to do for a good while is to give you some few tips on getting started in doing some speaking. And this is especially for children and youth. Of course, adults are welcome to listen. This is something that I think is very important. I know as a child growing up, I never had this opportunity that somebody could help me with things like this. It may be in school, it may be in 4-H, it could be scouts, it could just be various things that you may have an opportunity to speak. There are some people who want to, but they're terrified. I had a mother recently tell me that she wanted to help her children, but didn't know how. I was privileged to be able to assist them, and glad to say that one of the girls got first place in her age group, and another girl got third place. So we're thankful we were able to help them some. But let's just get started and say that that when you stand up to speak, whether it's giving a book report in school or wherever it is, most people are for you. They're not against you. There will be those few detractors maybe that may have comments, but for the most part, people are for you. They're pulling for you. In fact, they're thinking, many of them, is that I wish I had the courage to do that. So feel free to go ahead and try. That's what I did. I went ahead even though I didn't know how, but I'm thankful for an organization that I joined called Toastmasters. And now I'm not one of their spokespeople. I'm not speaking on their behalf or anything, but that is the group that I went to learn some things that have really helped me. So that's why I've been just very determined that I was going to help others. One of the best things I found out I could do to help me relax is to smile. When I got before a group, in fact, on my way up there, I practiced smiling to try to be ready. It actually does relax you more than you think. So that's one of the things that you can do, is to make sure that you smile. And there's something about it, it does help to relax you. And when people see you smile, you will see some of them begin to smile too. Well, what if you make a mistake? You may have somebody say, what if you forget what you're going to say? What if you make a mistake? It happens to everybody. If it does, we just keep moving on. You see, I'm still here, and I've been speaking for a very long time. So the world will still be going around even if you do make a mistake. Everything's going to be fine. I found out an important thing, and I've heard this many times, is to speak in front of a mirror, learn, practice in front of a mirror. It may be awkward at first, but it really is helpful. One of the main reasons is because you see for yourself what your audience is seeing, and it helps you to correct some things that you might not like, or to really improve on things that you like. Just really work on those things. All right, let's talk about these amazing butterflies. Now, I've just got me a little visual aids here for you. I made these little butterflies here. And people say, well, I have these butterflies. I'm so nervous. These butterflies. Well, I like to think about those as those wonderful thoughts that are building in you that want to come out. And it's fear. We think, well, it's just fear. But start thinking about it as being wonderful ideas that you have, thoughts that you have. And so here comes this thought, and it's growing inside of you, like in your mind and your imagination as you're thinking on it. Well, here comes this butterfly out. And it's ready to go. It's ready to fly. And here comes the next thought that you have that you want to speak about. If you have maybe a subject that has 3 topics, maybe you got a new puppy dog and you want to talk about the new puppy that you got. You might talk about what it was when you got it. You might talk about when you got home and took it to its bed. There's just different things that you could talk about, or when the family come, or maybe grandparents came and got to see this pet, and just various things that you can talk about would make it's the same subject, but it's a different avenue of that different thought that you have with it. All right. Those amazing butterflies, so we can learn to see them as beautiful. Butterflies are beautiful. Now, next let's talk about our eyes. I found out that our eyes are one of the most important things that we have when we're giving a speech. You know the things that you like, the things you don't like. How many of you have seen a speaker that when they talk, they're doing this? Their eyes are shifting around, but they won't look at you. They don't look at the audience. That's really very irritating, isn't it? To me, my husband says he never notices it, but I guess because that I've been in training for so long, and you never quit learning, really. You're always in training. Is is important that I began to realize how to lock my eyes on the audience. It was hard for me. It was very awkward for me. I didn't want to do it. I was so ill at ease. But now I have done it so much, I forced myself to do it. Did you know your eyes are really talking? I mean, they really are speaking to people, and it's not just your voice talking, but if you're excited, your eyes show it. If you're sad, if you're terrified, your eyes show it. It just is so important to speak. You say, well, how can I look at the crowd? We have maybe the tendency to just look right here or look at just one part. Or I'm right-handed, so I have to watch just turning toward the right and forget these people over here. Well, how can you correct that? One thing that we suggested to these girls that I mentioned earlier is when they were doing their speech, we said, here's what we're going to do. One of us, my husband, sat over here. And then the mother, she was sitting in this section. And I was sitting over here in this section. So we said, when you go to speak, said, you're going to make sure that you look over here. And this way you're going to remember to look here and look here. Because you're going to know right now you're going to have 3 people there for sure that are going to be cheering you on when you speak. When you look our direction, I'm going to be giving you a thumbs up. Your mother's probably going to be smiling at you. We're going to be smiling and giving thumbs up and encouraging them. Another thing I found out that you can do, you'll find is helpful, is maybe when you're speaking about something that you've enjoyed together, and you'll say just like, and you point to a person there, and you say like your friend, and say, she was with me. She can tell you how much fun this was. What happened? You've engaged the congregation, the audience that you're speaking to, as they look, oh, everybody is following you. You have their attention. So remember, your eyes are very, very important. The crowd likes it when you are looking at them. And if you're looking around here and there, it makes them kind of look around and wonder what's going on. All right, so let's go now to some habits and things that we want to make sure that we have is that smile. There's something about a smile that makes you look confident. You may be scared. I'm not going to tell you that I'm never scared when I speak, but I go ahead anyway. And now it's something that I thoroughly enjoy. The way you look at it is you have something important to say, and you have in a sense, you have a captive audience. They're there to hear what you have to say. If there's something really on your mind that you really believe in, you want to talk about, you have that opportunity to do that. Well, people say, well, I don't know what to do with my hands. Well, let's get a little bit of help here with that. If you're talking about something that happened over here, you're going to be naturally using your hand. You don't want to just say, and it was over there. You can do that, but you can really gesture if you're talking about an airplane you saw, and maybe it was an air show, and talking about some of the things that you were seeing it do, the dives and the various things like that. You can be using your hands like that. But let's have some habits that we don't want to get with our hands, is like shove them in our pockets or hold on to, if you're there at a lectern, you don't want to just hang on to it. It's important that we watch things like that. What if we had a habit of maybe pulling on your necklace here? If that was all during the speech that you're doing things like that. We want to watch nervous habits. Maybe you have a pen in your hand and the whole time you're doing it like this. That's very, very distracting. One thing that I saw a speaker do one time, that he had no training. I knew the gentleman, he'd had no training. And he just paced the whole time. Paced, like a tiger in a cage. Just paced back and forth until it was like you were almost getting dizzy. But you won't I'm sure these things won't come natural for you many times. It's going to take practice. But believe me, people will notice the difference as you begin to conquer some of these habits. Well, what about when you're speaking, if you start saying, and if you can't remember your next line you want to say, that just, that's common. We've all had to conquer that. You can do it. Just stay at it and you will get better. Another thing that is helpful to you, if you have a friend or relative that will be willing to help you, is that they can listen to you and mark down the times that you say or ah. That's not being condemning of you. It's helping you to see how you're coming along. If you need to keep improving or if you've about got it conquered, but you stay at it, and you're going to get better and better till the next thing you know, you're going to be confident and happy. Your voice will be excited as you're talking in your speech, as what you're talking about. Just an example I want to give is that this young lady that was going to do her speech, when she started doing it for me to let me hear her, she said, "Did you know that there is an Eiffel Tower in China?" Well, you can say it like that, but we helped her to emphasize it and say, "Did you know there is an Eiffel Tower in China?" So I was so happy to see her as she got excited. And when you get excited and you're really excited about what you're talking about, I'm telling you what, that audience is going to be with you. These are just a few little things that we wanted to share with you just to help you get started. And if anybody has any questions and they need any help, you can comment here, or we can be reached by phone at 580-695-1891. You have an excellent evening, and we'll get back with you again on some more tips that we think might be helpful to you. If you have some ideas, let us know, and we'll do our best to help you. Have a great evening. Goodbye.